Yeah, I would like to welcome you to this Uniarch training. I have here with me today Ferdi. He is going to join me and help me out.
Welcome everybody.
So he's managing the chat, so whenever you have questions, just write it down in the chat and he will answer them. So like I said, Uniarch is going to be the product today. You can see it here on the first slide. It's about better value and best budget. So I think this brand or this product line could be really interesting because it has a lot of different functionalities for a really, really good price. So yeah, let's get then started with the presentation. Here we're just going to have a little overview of what we're going to do, the course overview. So we're going to give you a little introduction of the Uniarch CCTV product. So we're going to talk about obviously cameras and recorders and those functions. We're going to talk a little bit about the basics of the CCTV technology. And we're going to go then a little bit into the camera series and also into the recorders. We also have here several cameras live, so we can show them to you later in the demo version after PowerPoint presentation. So several cameras and recorders as well. And like I said, advanced features and functionalities. We're going to go into the functions in the demo part, network setup, maintenance, which could be an interesting part as well, because Uniarch has a really, really interesting option of updating your devices via the cloud, but we're going to get to this later on. And yeah, this will be the overview of the course today. Like I said, PowerPoint presentation, and later on we're going to do a demo version, a demo, exactly. So introduction of Uniarch. What is Uniarch? Uniarch is actually a new brand created by Uniview Technologies. Uniview itself has more than 10 years of experience in this sector of CCTV, so it's definitely a well-known name or brand on the market. Yeah, here just again a little overview, and here a little slogan. So Uniarch, what are they saying? Life in focus. I think this is pretty on point for a CCTV product line. Exactly. So then we have here the complete product layout of all the devices Uniarch has to offer with the IPC cameras, and here specifically on the bottom the PT set and the PT camera. We're going to go into that a little bit later on, and obviously all the recorders with the XVR and NVRs we have. Then just some general information about the brand, or what makes the brand really, really interesting. So those devices have a wide temperature range, so high temperatures or really low temperatures. We also have a voltage tolerance of plus minus 25 degrees, 25%. So this is also something which could be helpful. We have different devices which have IK10, so which are vandal proof, which are metal, but also all the devices have IP67, so they should be waterproof and should be you should be able to mount them outside. And then here you can see the password recovery is actually kind of easy if your devices are registered on the cloud. We're going to explain that later on a little bit more specific. You can kind of easy retrieve your password, and obviously CCTV cybersecurity is also always an important thing. So data protection, limited access, all of that we have included in the Uniarch series. Okay, so then let's talk about the recorders, the three recorders, the recorder series we can offer here for Uniarch. First of all, we have the S3 NVR series with no PoE, so we can offer them with 6, 10, and 16 channels. This device features or supports those three video formats, we have the Ultra 265, the H265 and the H264. So if you use the Ultra 265, you can definitely, how do you say it in English? It could be helpful for storage on your hard disk. So you don't need that much storage on your hard disk. So the video codec or video format Ultra 265. Obviously, you can add third-party IP cameras because those devices support the OnWave protocol. Here you can see the protocol S, G, and T. They have HDMI and VGA outputs. And this device or this series supports resolution up to 6 megapixels. And like I said before, all devices support the cloud upgrade. Okay, so this would be the S3 NVR series. Then we have the same device but with PoE. This comes with the option of 4 or 8 channel inputs. Again, with the video format supports Ultra 265 and H265 and H264, as well as the third-party cameras you can add to your recorder. The same with the outputs and also 6 megapixel resolution. So it is basically the same, but just with PoE. So this would be the S3 series PoE. Then Uniarch also offers an XVR. So this XVR has 4, 8 or 16 channel input, but what is really interesting, you can also add IP cameras. So you can add from 2, 4 or 8 extra IP cameras. But what is also really interesting, you can also convert your analog channels into IP channels. So I think this XVR could be a really interesting product if you have analog or IP systems. Obviously, you can also add third-party IP cameras because of the OnWave protocol. And yeah, this would be the XVR series, which we have this device also here, so we can show you that later on. Then the G3 XVR series, again, we have 4, 8 or 16 channel input, plus we can add IP cameras, so fully hybrid, as well as the third-party IP cameras again, and also like HDMI and VGA output, so and support cloud upgrades. So this would be the G3 series of Uniarch, the XVR. So those two options we have for the XVR devices. Okay, so then next up, cameras. First, we're gonna start with the basic cameras. Here you can see different options. We have the turret, the bullet, or a dome camera. Those cameras could be used in those environments, for example, little restaurants, in a private apartment or a house, or for example in a yard. Those cameras come in 2, 4 or 5 megapixel. The bullet and the turret camera have a built-in mic, and also those cameras have night vision with the IR light, obviously with motion detection, and the IP67 or one of those cameras comes with the vandal-proof iKey 10. And here also you can see it here on the bottom. What is also really interesting, easy to use, is the one-click upgrade. So if your devices are uploaded or added to your cloud, you can basically update it with one click. So you can look for a firmware update online and it will automatically upgrade your device. You can upgrade it also through the recorder. So if your device is added to a recorder, you can also update it from there. So really easy to use, and all those devices have this option. And here again with the built-in mic, the bullet and the turret camera. So those are the basic cameras we can offer from Uniarch. Then our zoom cameras. Again, here we can see where we could use it. in which environments, for example, in parking lots, or in small offices or home offices, or for example, a small shop or a small shop. So again, those cameras come in 4 and 5 megapixels. Cameras have built-in mics, and also they come with the smart infrared. And again, here I can point it out again. So it's really easy to use. You can upgrade also those devices via the cloud. Then next up, our dual light cameras. We have cameras. I have one camera here. I'm going to show you that right now. So this camera comes in 3 megapixels. So we have the infrared, but we also have the white light. So we have this dual light. The bullet camera has the IR light up to 50 meters, and the turret we have 30 meters. Those cameras come again with the built-in mic, as basically all those cameras. Here you can see a little bit more specific. So we have those lights on the bottom, so 2 infrared lights and 2 warm lights. And here we have a little comparison how it would look like with the IR mode, with the warm light mode, or the dual light mode. I can also show you this camera. So this will be, for example, one of those dual light cameras with the LEDs you can see here on the bottom. This specific camera also comes with the smart function, so it can do human body detection. So this will be the dual light camera. Okay, so then we're gonna go to the next slide. The dual light PT camera. We also have this camera here. I'm gonna show it to you as well. So this will be the dual light camera. Again, you can see here on the bottom those lights. So you have the infrared light, and you also have the LED light. So it's a really compact, small PT camera. PT, I want to point this out. So it is just pan and tilt. So there's no zoom. It's just a pan and tilt camera. But I think it's a really small, compact camera and has a lot of different functions. As you can see here, intrusion detection based on humans. So I think this is a really interesting product. Here you have some environments you could definitely use it, especially in a warehouse. I can definitely see it or in a retail store. So yeah, this will be the PT camera. And then the last camera, Uniarch obviously has also a PT set camera. So this one has zoom, so pan, tilt and zoom. And we have this camera downstairs in our office installed with the auto tracking. So this camera has the auto tracking option. You can see here, it points it out. Also with night vision and smart ER. So this is a pretty complete product. Here you can see it again, the environment or the scenarios. You could use it in a parking lot, or for example for a festival or a big shopping mall. You could definitely install this device. Again, here I will point it out again, easy to use. You can upgrade your device in the cloud. Okay, so those are all the devices Uniarch has to offer. First, we're going to go through the devices. Just in general, we're not going to go too much into setting up the device because I think it is kind of simple. I'm just going to go through the structure a little bit more. How the recorders, for example, or the cameras are how the structure of those the devices are. So because all the devices are basically similar. Okay, so first up, I think I would start with our NVR. So this is how it looks like. This is the the web interface of the recorder. So first up, I think we're gonna go through the menu of the recorder. So first, here we can see on the left all the different folders. So first, obviously, system and general information, so we can see with which device are we working with. Here we have the device name. This device name we can obviously change because just here we gave it the name demo. So we can definitely change this. We can change here the language, and also we can change here output if we would have another option. Obviously the resolution, and here we have also the model number and the serial numbers, and as well as the firmware version. So it's good to know where you can find this. And I think then we're gonna just go through the menu step by step. Preview, I think this is actually pretty self-explained as well. Again, the video output you can configure, the preview windows you can configure, and the sequences, the cycle in seconds. So we can set this up from 8 to 3600. And obviously, if this one needs to be enabled first before it can work. So this is the preview setup. Obviously, like in all those devices, we can set up our time zone, the format, if you want to synchronize it with our PC. So this would be here in time setup. Here, DST would be this menu. I think I'm not going to go into that too much. You can also set up holidays. So you can just add here a holiday with start time and end time. Also kind of easy to use, but it's good to know that those devices have these options. And here the security part, HTTPS. So you obviously have to turn it on. Here you have the certificate types. So this would be in this menu. And then the last part would be the users. So we have here from default on obviously an administrator, but we can also create new users, obviously with different passwords, and we can also here select which permissions this user has for which camera. So we can here just click all of them, or just choose which specific camera he has permission to. So here we can manage everything as an operator or as an administrator for other users. Then next up will be the camera setup. How can we add cameras? You can see here already that we have cameras added. This is just a little overview with all the cameras with the IP addresses, the port which is used. If the camera is online, for example, we have the 112, which is not online right now. And we can also here through the recorder edit the IP of each camera. And as in the PowerPoint presentation, as I said before, here you can also auto switch to H265, or here the U code, so off basic mode or the lens code. Exactly. Like I said, you can edit your IP here, or you can also choose your device and modify it here. Or you can do also an auto search of devices which are in the network. So those can be then added here right away. So this is the overview of the cameras which are added to the recorder. Here we're going to have the audio, the video setup of, we can set this up for each camera. Mainstream and substream, resolution, frame, so we can here basically set up everything. If you have several cameras which want to have the same setup, we can also then copy one setup to all cameras. Okay, so you don't have to do it with each camera, you can then just copy it to all cameras. So this might help to configure or install a system a little bit faster. And we have, obviously, we have the same for the audio setups. So you can do the same, choose one camera, do your setup and also then copy it to all the devices which are added to the recorder. Then through the recorder we can also set the on-screen display. So what do we want to have on the screen? Show time, name, date, format. So also those devices have the option. And we can here also adjust our image with illumination mode, with the dual light mode. So if you have a dual light camera, here we have the white LED and the infrared, or the dual light. So we have those options we can choose here or select here. Exactly, and then here are the color, white balance and exposure settings. So this will be in the image settings. And you can also set up a privacy mask. So if you have an area you don't want to display, you can set up here a private area. So this is not going to be shown then. Okay. So those are the general settings for the cameras you can do on the recorder. Like I said, video, audio, OSD. So you can find it here. Okay. Then next up, I think we're going to go to the detections or to the events. Here we have all the different events we can configure. So human body detection, auto tracking, intrusion, line crossing, entering area and leaving area. Obviously your device needs to support this function to enable it through the recorder. For example, a camera which doesn't have auto tracking, I cannot enable it. But exactly here you can find all the events you can set up. I think we're just gonna go through the setup of a line crossing, for example. In general, to set up an event, it doesn't matter which event you want to set up. It's basically the same structure. So you first have to choose the camera you want to set up. You have to enable the event. If not, it's not going to work. You have to set the area or draw the line. In this case, we have two different lines we can draw. And we can also choose, for example, in this specific event for a line crossing, if it's from A to B, from B to BA, or if it's both directions. So this is the area. If it would be, for example, instead of a line crossing in an area entrance, you just have to draw your area then as an area. Yeah.
One question.
Yes, Fergie.
Can you show us also what you can do or trigger actions on the line crossing?
Sure. So this will be the first step, so the area. Obviously you can set up the arming schedule. So you just draw here when it should be armed. So actually that's quite simple. You just choose the time, the date and everything. And then at the end you have the trigger action. So this is probably the most interesting thing. So what do I want to have when there's an alarm or a trigger when there's a line crossing? So those are all the different options we have. First up, we can have an email sent to an email address. So if there's a line crossing, our recorder is going to send an email. Obviously, we can have an alarm output. For that, we need to have a physical alarm or an alarm output. If that is not if this is not given, so we cannot have an alarm output. But we have this option. We can also configure recording. If we have several cameras added to this recorder, we can say, hey, my camera, which is set up to a line crossing, when this line crossing, this event is happening, I would like to have another camera or two other cameras from another angle. I want to have them recording as well. So we can choose here just the channel, which camera should also record. Then we also have a preset. For example, if we have a PTZ camera connected and we have set up a preset, we can enable this. So if this camera detects a line crossing, we can say the other camera should go then to this specific preset and, for example, can zoom in on a face. For example, at a gas station or something like that, or at an entrance of a store, somebody's entering, the PTZ camera is then just gonna zoom in or go to this preset we have pre-configured. So preset here. And we can also set up an alarm, a light alarm or an audio alarm. Obviously, this depends if your camera supports this function, but this we can configure. I think this is a really, really interesting option. So you can definitely, this could definitely be helpful. So you could just click here on settings, exactly, and you can set up the time and the days. You want to have this light alarm set up. And you can also then copy it to all the days, or choose the days you want to have this light alarm or audio alarm set up. So yeah, those are all the trigger options we can set up in those events. And like I said, in general, all those events have the same structure. You can see it here. Intrusion, you have the area, the arming, and you have the trigger again here, and the same with the entrance. Again, here the same, you can set it up. So yeah, those are the events we can set up. And then next up to the events, we can also do the classic motion detection or video loss, or in general just alarms we can set up. Here you can see it, all the different options we have. We have, like I said, the classic motion detection. We have a video loss. We can set up, you can say, hey, if there's a video loss, I would like to have an email sent. We can also configure an alarm input. You can say when an alarm comes in, those are the triggers I would like to have. The same with the alarm output here. Can also be configured. And alerts, for example, if I have an IP conflict, or if I have a disk offline, or an abnormal disk, or an illegal access, I can set those triggers. For example, an email. So those are the alerts we can set up through the recorder. We also have audio detection. Obviously, the camera needs to have a built-in, we need to have the mic and needs to detect audio. So audio detection we have here. We can again here choose the camera. We can select the arming schedule, and then set up at the end our triggers we want to have after an audio detection. Exactly. Then one key shielding linkage. I think I'm not going to go through into that too much. So those are next to the events of the VCA. We also have here also this classic alarm setups we can do through the recorder. Okay. Then we have the recording setup, or in general the storage. So we can define a recording schedule. We can here again choose the camera. We can define pre-recording and post-recording. So if there's an event happening, we can say, hey, how much time before the event I have to record, and how much after the event I have to record. So we can set up this here. We can turn on and off our schedule, and also the audio storage. And we have here, if we have the recording schedule on, we can then here define it in this area down here. And again, we can have we have the option down here to copy this setup to all the other channels and all the other cameras we have connected to our recorder. Here we just have a little overview of our hard disk, which is in it with the status. Right now it's recording with free space and total capacity. And exactly, here are the setups for the hard disk. So here you can find the information about your hard disk. Exactly, and I think those two menus, I'm not going to go too much into it. I think the only one here which could be a little bit more important is the disk policy, if I want to have an overwrite, or if I want to have it stopped recording. So this option you find here in storage and in advanced. Okay, then next up would be the network setups. We probably know it from all the other devices. we can here set up all our network settings with the IP address, subnet and gateway, the DNS server, and the internal address if you want to connect your camera directly to recorder via the PoE. So this would be the internal IP address for this. Then let's go on and go through the menu a little bit more. Mobile devices. I said it before in the PowerPoint presentation, you can add your devices to the cloud. So here we can turn it on. We have here the server address, registry code, and we have then also, if it's added, we have the status if the device is online. Here we have our username and the device name, and here we can also add our QR code, so we can add the device to our application. But specifically about the cloud, Fergie later on is going to explain a little bit more how the cloud works, how you can add devices, how you can organize your installations via the cloud. So, but this is definitely good to know. Here you can find all the information for the mobile service. Then DDNS, actually quite self-explaining. You just have to turn it on, the type you want to use, the server address you want to use, the ports, domain name. So this would be the DDNS setup. Then we have here the overview of the ports. I think this is also quite self-explaining. Here, what we also can find in the port setup is the RTSP URL. So if you want to stream your channel directly, you can find here the stream. Exactly, you just have to modify it with port, with the channel number, exactly if it's a mainstream or a substream, but you have here the explanation how to use the stream, and also, like I said, here in this port menu you can find this, the URL. Here the overview of the port mapping, the different ports, internal ports and the external ports. So this would be the overview of the port mapping. Obviously you have to turn it on and off. And like I said before, you can set up a trigger that you want to have an email sent if an alarm is, if there's an alarm happening. Here would be the mail setup with username, password, the server you're using, and the sender address. And also you can here define the alarming schedule, so you can say when do you want to have an email sent and when not. So this would be the email setup exactly. So, and then I would say we close just the network part. Then the last two things, first would be maintenance. So here you can find all the logs. So if you want to have a look at your logs and you want to see what was going on, you find here everything what happened. Exactly here, HDD. So also like for analytics. Here we have an overview of the recordings of each channel, the resolution, the frame rate, the bit rate, which stream type is using, the status if it's ongoing, or for example this one, which one is not connected. You can see right away it is not recording, and here also like diagnosis, cameras offline. So here you can find the status of each channel. And then at the end we have the maintenance. Here you can restart your device. You can set it to factory default, or also to default if you, for example, just want to set all the settings back, but you want to keep your network settings. You can just set your recorder on default. And what you also can do, you can export your configuration files, and obviously you can also import your configuration files. So those are two options right here. So exactly, maintenance. And then the last one would be the upgrade. So here, like I said in the PowerPoint several times, here we can upgrade our device via the cloud, and not just our NVR. We are in the interface of the NVR. We can obviously update it. We can also update our IPC cameras we have connected to our recorder via the cloud. So NVR upgrade and IPC upgrade. We can, for example, see, hey, are they new versions of our devices? We just select them, check new version, and we can see here, for example, that all our cameras which are connected are on the latest firmware version. Yes, so this would be a little bit the structure of the NVR, of the menu. Ferdy, do you want to add anything to this?
No, not really. It seems to be quite straightforward to me.
Okay.
The one thing I didn't know if you mentioned the PoE, how to change the network settings from PoE, because on default, I can show it, just bear with me. So if we go to the cameras, and then by default, let me select this one, okay? It needs to be in color. And then you click on modify. Okay, by default, it is on plug and play, save. So now if there's any Uniarch or Uniview camera plugged into the PoE of the recorder, it will automatically connect to that camera, depending also on the password.
Mm-hmm.
But if it comes default out of the box, it's just plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, those PoE recorders, they're quite suitable to sell as a package to clients. Some people might have clients that would like to do their installation themselves. This is very suitable for them to do it. It's really plug and play. You can even send them a short video of the first startup, what to do. I do have one video on the first startup, so if you're interested in that video, let us know and we can send it to you guys.
Okay. Very good, thank you for that, Ferdy. So then I would say this was the NVR, just the structure of the interface, so you know how to navigate through your device. I think we're going to go through the same. We're going to do the same with our XVR, but we're not going to go too much into the detail because in general the structure is somehow similar. We can see here in the live view that we have the analog cameras connected, but we also have IPC cameras connected. For example, the one you see here in the middle, this is the auto tracking camera, the PT set camera from Uniarch. We have that camera connected to the XVR recorders. So here you have the live view and exactly the overview of the cameras. So let's go into setups again. I think the system is exactly the same. General information. I think the most interesting part is here is in cameras. So camera type. Here you can choose which channel you want to use for what. So if you want to use it for analog or for digital, so IP cameras. So here you can choose this and say which channel should be suitable for which camera. And then here we have the overview of the IP cameras. Here we can add the cameras. You can see it, those 4 cameras are added. We have added a camera via the on-with protocol, like we said before in the PowerPoint presentation. This Uniarch is suitable also for third-party cameras. You can add them via the on-with protocol. And if you add an Uniarch camera, you can use the private protocol. Exactly. So this will be the segment of the IP cameras. And then here again, in advanced, we have the cameras, the IP cameras we have added to the recorder. Yes, I think Ferdy, do you want to go a little bit more into detail in the XVR, or do you have anything else to add to that?
No, not really, because well, it works exactly the same as the NVRs,
right?
And well, especially if people are already having coax cameras in their installation, and they then don't want to switch directly everything to IP because the cameras might be pretty new, but they want to have added some IP cameras. This is a nice recorder to use to add more and more slowly IP cameras whenever it's needed, but still be able to use the conventional coax cameras. Yeah.
Okay, so good. So then we have seen the NVR, we have seen the XVR setups, and then before we go into the cloud setup, I think we're gonna look into a camera. So we have one camera here. This will be the dual light camera. Here we can see the live view right away. So let's go into the setup. So we're just gonna go through the camera again, like with the recorder, so you know how to navigate through it. Here, first up, you can see the basic information of the camera with model number, firmware version, serial number. So this is the basic information and the basic overview of your device. Local parameters, display mode, protocol. So this would be here. Also, like where your recordings and snapshots, in which folder do you want to save them. If you download them, you can set up this one here in recording and snapshot. So this would be in local parameters. Then, like in the other devices, we have the network setup. We can have a static or a DHCP. Obviously, we always advise to use a fixed IP address. So this is where you can set up your network. Time setup, you can find here in time. It's exactly the same as in the recorder. Platform access. So again, here the overview of where you can add your device to the cloud with the QR code you can add to your application. And here also you can see the online status of your device, and you can also log out right here from this area. Okay. On-screen display you can set up here on the camera and on the recorder. It's the same setup in both devices. And also here we have the user setup here with the administrator, but you can also add more users to it. Okay, wired network. I think I'm not going to go through that because it's basically the same as in all the other devices. The same with the audio video settings. Here I talked about the video compression. You can change this here with main and substream, audio and media stream. So this will be an audio video. The image settings here with the brightness, with contrast, you can set up this here in your camera, but you also have seen it before. You can also do it via the recorder with the OSD as well, and the privacy mask. And then probably the most interesting thing, sorry for that. So like I said here, we have our events we can set up through the camera in the sector of intelligence, and then smart. For this specific camera, we can set up line crossing or an intrusion.
In this case, you can set them up, use them both at the same time. Not many brands are doing this. This is
actually a good point, Ferdi. As you can see here, both events are enabled, so you can definitely can use both of them. A lot of other brands don't have this option, so could be really interesting, to be honest. So yeah, so you can see line crossing intrusion. Let's see how we can set up each event. Obviously, to enable it, you have to then just enable it here. And then here you can go into the settings. Okay, so first up we can set up the rule. So which means we can set up different lines. Here we have 2 lines. We can again choose, like in the recorder before, in which direction. So A to B, B to A, or both directions. Then if we have set up the rule settings, we then have the trigger. For example, this specific camera, we can set up a flashing light. So if there is, for example, a line crossing with this dual light camera, we can set up a light flashing so the people who's entering the area or crossing the line definitely knows, hey, there's a surveillance system. I have to get out here as fast as possible.
Or just for yourself.
Or for
Could
yourself.
be useful as well.
Yeah, sure. So I think in general, pretty useful this option of a flashing light, right? So you can also set up your trigger. Again, you can have a custom mode, a day and night mode, and you can choose which day, which time, what time, and you can also copy that to all the days or to the day you want to set it up. So trigger action, flashing light. And in general, you can here set up your schedule when do you want to have this action, this line crossing enabled. For example, I don't know, if you come home from work, you don't want to have your alarm armed, so you just unarm it for a specific time and a specific day. Okay. So exactly, those are the line crossings or the intrusion. The intrusion is basically the same. We have again here an area we can set up. In the line crossing, we had the option of 2 different lines we can set up. Here, obviously, you just can set up one square. Just exactly. So we have this square. Oh no, I'm wrong. You can set up to 4 different squares. So if you have an area you want to cover with different sensitivities, you can definitely set up 4 different rules. As you can see, you can add them here via the plus. And then you just choose them and draw another square where you need to draw it. Okay. So quite simple to set up. The trigger action again is the same. For this specific camera, we have a flashing light we can set up. And again, we have the schedule or the plan when the device should be armed and unarmed. So this will be the intelligence setup. And then through the camera, obviously, we can also set up our common alarms with the motion detection and also the audio detection. So those 2 common events we can set up here via this camera.
Quite smart camera, right?
It's a pretty smart camera.
For a basic price?
Yes, I think for the price, Uniarch has a lot to offer. I said it before in the PowerPoint presentation. I think those cameras have way more functions than you might think. So, yeah, I think it's a good brand to get started with CCTV. But also, I think it's suitable for a lot of installations in general. Also, like bigger installations, because like we just saw, those devices have a lot of different functions, and also like we have different series. So we have a PTZ cameras, we have a dual light camera. So yeah, I think it's quite complete.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I would say this would be just the explanation of how an NVR, an XVR, and a camera can be set up. Ferdy, you wanna go ahead and talk about a little bit about the cloud, how we can add our devices,
yeah,
and what are the advantages using the cloud, obviously.
Yeah. Just bear with me. Let me make myself the presenter.
All right, here's a minute. So yeah, Ferdy's just going to talk a little bit about the cloud, and then what I'm going to do after this, we're going to show you the VMS software from Uniarch, which is called Uniarch Client, so you can see how you can navigate through the VMS. So this would then make it complete, so you know how to navigate through the recorders, how to set up a recorder, and then also cameras. You know how to set up the cloud, and then the Uniarch client VMS. Okay. Good. So Ferdi, we have you on screen.
Yeah, here we are. We're going to talk about the EZ Cloud. Okay, you can register it from this page, eu.ezcloud.uniview.com. If you want to, we can send you the link, or you just Google it, EZ Cloud Uniview. Pretty straightforward. Obviously, we already created an account, so just let me log in, and you can see how it works. Okay, let me go around a little bit. Okay, you can add all your recorders inside here, or you can set it up for your client and share the recorders into your account. Let's talk about first your own management for your clients that you're serving. In here you can add different folders. In the folders you can make city names. For example, we did installations NL, and we did installations DE, and installations in Malta. Well, unfortunately we didn't sell anything in Malta. No, and I'm just kidding. We didn't, the weather was not nice enough. Anyhow, so we did some installations in the Netherlands. We added the folder there, so we did here the NVR. So we see also directly it's online. All right, so here we can do some settings, or like Philip discussed before, register your devices in the cloud and you can retrieve your password here. You don't need us, so you can do it yourself or for your clients. Remember, you always need to notify the clients that you can have control of the devices of the clients, or they need to share with you. How you do that? You can do that in here as well. You click on share and you can share with anybody you like. You can even set the time and date. You can deselect live view, for example, and then you click on share with the share button, and then follow the steps. Obviously, if you have shared the devices in here, you can also delete it. I hope this is clear. Another nice advantage is that you can directly go to this camera. For example, if you click on here. Okay, here we go. So you log in. No, you don't need to. Today is pretty slow. It might be the network.
Yeah, I think it might be network.
A little bit more patience.
We're getting there.
Okay, so here we have the camera view that we discussed before. I'm sorry, my plugin is not installed correctly, but so you cannot see the buttons up, but I know where the config page is. It's over here. Yeah, you see. So you can do all the settings what you want for your client. Okay, very easily through the EZ Cloud. You have here the channel management. Oh, we have an installation in Hamburg. No data. So in here we have the organization management. So here we can add a new folder. So like you see the folders here. Here also you see your sharings, what you have. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? So this is a little bit overview of the EZ Cloud, very powerful.
Okay, welcome back then for the last part. Like I said, we're going to talk about the VMS, the software from Uniarch, which is called Uniarch Client. So we're just going to go through it and yeah, make a little explanation how it works. So this is the main page. Here with the control panel. Here on top you have those 4 common options with the live view. If you click on it, you have here a folder going, you have a new folder here. With the playback, we can check your recordings. We have the alarm records, and we have the device management. So those are all the options we can have. So live view, well, it's pretty straightforward. You just have here all your devices, the cameras, the recorders, and you just can choose which camera you want to see in which area. Obviously here on the bottom you can also customize it and say however I want to how I want to have it. So this is the live view. Then playback. If we want to look for recordings, we can obviously choose a camera. Let's see which one we want to choose. For example, this camera, we just choose a day and search for it. If there are recordings, there are probably no recordings on the camera. So let's check if there are recordings from yesterday. No video. Yeah. So, but it's actually quite straightforward. You just choose your device, you choose the day, and search, and you're going to find your recordings, and can also play it here and find the area where you wanna check. And you can also download your recordings here by file or by time. This will be here on the right bottom. So this will be the playback after the live view. Then here we have the log, so the alarm records. You can see the alarm type. Here motion detection. We have just set up one alarm with motion detection with the dual light camera. Here you can see that, and also the alarm level. And if you click on it, you also find the preview right here. So all those devices.
Philip.
Yes.
If you switch over to the demo computer.
Yeah.
I have some playbacks ready.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's from today, so you.
Oh, it is from today.
Yeah.
Okay, so playback here. Oh, as you can see here, you can see, also select multiple days, and here you can see the recordings right away. Here you can have listed it up and can select them, and then they will show up here.
You can blow them up, like select the screens here.
Exactly.
Like 1 or 2 or this. So.
Okay, very good. So this will be the recordings. Then let's go back here. Then device management. This is something really interesting. First of all, in encoding devices, we can here add our devices. Okay, so here on the bottom we can see all the devices which are online. Okay, so all the devices we have in our network. You find also other devices. But for example, here that one, we just choose it. We can add it to a group, or just add it. Okay, so quite simple and quite straightforward. Then if the devices are added, they are automatically here in managed devices in this list. Here you can see the status of the device, you can see the IP address, the version, so all the basic information of the device you will need. You can also edit the device info. You can do some basic image and encoding setups, and you can also access your device directly here if you click here on this symbol here. And here we can also reboot our device. So this would be the device. You can do it via the, well, you have to do like this. You have to add your devices in the network, so via your IP address. But you can also do device management via the cloud. For that, first you have to log into the cloud. So if you switch from encoding to devices to cloud device, here on the top you can see cloud account, Visiotech support. So this would be us. We have been, I've logged in here, and then automatically the devices which are in the cloud are going to show up here in my cloud devices. Okay, so you have those two options: locally at your device or via the cloud. So I think that this is a really interesting option. Okay. Yes, I think so. We have covered live view, playback, alarm record, and device management. And then here on bottom we have some more options with e-mapping. So you can add a map. If you're a big installer, you have different devices in different cities. You can add a map and then just basically have it a little bit more visual where all your devices are. So you can do that through the e-map. This is the view configuration, alarm configuration, client configuration. I think I'm not going to go through that too much. And I think this could be an interesting one, is the operation log. So you can look for logs for something you want to check out what happened. So this you can find here in operation log. Yeah, as you can see, it's actually quite simple to manage and quite straightforward. Not just the interface of the devices or the EZ cloud, also the Uniarch client software is actually kind of easy to manage and quite straightforward. So yes, I think with that we have covered pretty much everything we wanted to cover and we wanted to show you.
Well, thanks a lot, and see you next time around.
See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want to know more about our security products, subscribe to the Visiotech channel and activate the notifications to always stay updated on the latest videos.